Rev up your engines!
Well, 2022 is now over. Who's the big winner? Well, you might say loser. It's Ford Motor Company, who blew everyone out of the water when it comes to recalls and bad quality. Now, in 2021, it was a race between Ford and GM. Ford had 53 recalls over 5.4 million vehicles, where GM had 44 recalls, but it was over 8 million vehicles. So it's kind of a tie there. One had more recalls, one had more vehicles, right? But in 2022, Ford blew them all away. Ford had 67 recalls for 8.63 million vehicles recalled, while GM only had 32 recalls for 3.3 million. Still a lot of cars, but they certainly beat the heck out of Ford by Ford getting worse. Now, if you're curious, number 2 in America last year was Volkswagen Group America, which isn't surprising. Volkswagens make junk. As far as I'm concerned, I've worked on them for 54 years. 54 years ago, they were solid little puddle jumpers. Now they're complex, rolling piles of junk as they age with so much technology it would make your head spin. And if you're curious who came in number 3 as the worst made vehicles, it was Tesla with all their recalls. So Ford's got a long way to go, but here's what their CEO says. Fixing these problems takes time. Ford's quality issues should begin to subside in 2023. Oh, what a solution. Begin to subside in 2023. What is this, a landslide? Well, it's slowing now. Maybe by 2023 it'll stop. We'll start making better vehicles. He obviously doesn't see it as an emergency situation. Unfortunately, what he doesn't understand about cars is people have long memories. I have customers who the last Ford they bought was in the 1970s, and they said, that was the biggest pile of crap I ever bought. I will never buy another Ford. 2022, what are they driving? Toyotas, Hondas. The guy never bought a Ford again. People have long-term memory. They remember the crap they got. They're like, fool me once. Shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. They don't want to be shamed themselves, so they don't buy another one. Might be too late with the quality problems that they have. Well, what people really remember in their minds are bad things that happen, because they don't want it to happen again. And if you buy something that's bad, what are you going to do? I'm not going to buy one of those pieces of crap again. You should learn from that. And it's going to bite them in the rear end at Ford, because people's memories, in that case, often like elephants, they remember, that was the worst car I ever got. I'm not buying another one of those pieces of crap. And with the prices of cars going up and up, average car, $50,000, right? You can spend that kind of money and get a piece of crap? No, you're going to spend some time research and say, well, that one was good. I'll keep buying those because they're good. And if they keep making them good, like the Japanese, generally, people will keep buying them. People don't buy Japanese cars because they love the Japanese. They buy because they love the way the Japanese build cars. I had customers back in the 60s. I'll never buy a Jap car. I fought them in World War II. They invaded Pearl Harbor. I'll never buy one of them Jap cars. Guess what? These guys are driving around Japanese cars now. So, good, people will continue, but bad, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth for quite some time. Well, I couldn't help but laugh. This journalist wrote an article, and here's his title. 2022 Lucid Air Grand Touring keeps getting better. This guy Joel wrote it, right? Journalist. If you don't know, the Lucid Grand Air is that electric car, right? They give these journalists stuff to ride, but this, to me, just explains it all. And here's how he starts out. Just before I pulled out of the Beverly Hills Lucid Gallery, Lucid reminds me the entire system has been rewritten. The differences are minor, but add up. So he's picking this thing up in Beverly Hills. Now, understand one thing. The Lucid Grand Tour starts at $140,000. It makes total sense that the guy's picking it up in Beverly Hills, right? Come on. The rest of us, are we going to spend this kind of money on an electric car with unproven technology? I really don't think so. The guy goes on to praise how great it is. These guys are journalists. They get the car for a week. If they say bad things, guess what? Next year, they won't get any of those cars, and the other manufacturers will say, hey, this Joel dude, he doesn't say great things. Years ago, Ford gave me cars, and I try them out, right? Then they didn't like what I said. They don't give me cars anymore. So now, instead, I just have real people who bought the cars bring them to me, and I can analyze them that way, which actually is much better, because then they have mileage on them. The customer can give me their feedback. And anybody who watches me, if they like watching what I'm doing, knows I'm going to tell the truth. So they come here and they say, Scotty, say whatever you want about it, tell the truth. And they'll tell me the bad things that happened to them, the good things that happened to them. I can give the truth. There's no strings attached. The people bring the cars here that they own, and I talk about it. So in that respect, if you got something you got a problem with, or something when you show off, just get a hold of me. When I'm in Tennessee, come visit me here. When I'm in Rhode Island, visit me there. We'll make videos out of it and show. If if you're really pissed off at a company, hey, bring it with your problems, you know? We can show people how they're liars, right? Or if you're really nuts about a certain feature, bring it and I'll highlight it to people and say, here's what this guy likes about this car. Just like keyless ignition systems, right? A key for my 94 Celica cost me $1 to get one made. Just a plain old key. You get these modern keyless ignition systems, some of them, you're going to spend almost $1,000 getting a new one if you lose your old keyless remote, having things reprogrammed. Some of them can only be done so often, then you got to buy a new computer, and it costs even more money. So, this level of technology, maybe not such a smart thing. It's real convenient now when it works, but think about the future if you're going to keep your car any length of time. This Joe guy, talk about stretching for trying to find compliments or thing. Listen to this. Here's what he says. Those buttons now on the left rail are closer to the driver rather than the right, closer to the passenger. It takes less of a reach to use them now and means the driver's eyes don't have to travel as far to locate them. Why should they travel at all? All this electronic hoo-ha, they got to have a heads-up display to show absolutely everything and be able to touch it, right? Well, it's better than it was. You still got to strain a little, you know? For 140 grand up, I'd expect perfection in a car, you know? To me, it's hilarious. These guys are just stretching for something to write about, saying how great, our title, it's great. It's great, right? It's great that they got a job and they're getting paid to be the envoys of these companies that sell super expensive cars that the vast majority of us will never buy, or if we're smart, wouldn't even think about buying at that price range for unproven technology. I love reading these articles, though. They just make me laugh. Hopefully it'll make you laugh, too. Laugh enough that you'll never buy one. Now, here's a YouTube video you gotta watch. It's called The Battery Failed in My Ford F-150 Lightning EV Pickup the Day After I Sold It. The guy has the Lightning, and he realizes, he says in the video, they have not figured it out for pickup trucks, for what people want pickup trucks for. Weight, towing, cold weather. You'll get stranded. They can't go far, right? That's why he got rid of his. He realized it is not a real pickup truck. And I do have to say, personally, all the people I met that had electric pickup trucks. It was the first pickup truck they ever had. They weren't pickup truck guys, right? So this guy shows, he sold it to somebody, and the next day, the big giant battery broke. And he did some stuff going to mechanics and talking to them, and they say, yeah, you know, we see these things break already. Now, yes, they are under warranty. Right? They're under warranty because they're brand new electric pickup trucks. They just came out a little while ago. And the batteries are breaking already. Imagine, they replace it. Well, this is when it's less than a year old. Imagine, how long is the next one going to last, you know? Dice roll them and say, well, let's see. How long's the warranty on this one, you know? And from my experience, the warranty on all that stuff starts at original. So let's say they say you got a 5-year warranty, right? If it breaks at 2 years, you don't get a 5-year warranty on the brand new battery. You only get 3 more because they said the warranty for your battery starts then. And even though they gave you a new battery, if they gave it to you 4 years later, it was a 5-year warranty, you only get 1-year warranty on that really expensive battery that can cost $15,000, $20,000 or more to replace. This technology is not proven. This guy's proved that it's not proven. And this is now when they're new. Like I say, wait till they get to be years older. It will just be total insanity on the money people will have to spend to fix these things. Or they'll want to give up. And if you notice, now we're getting out of that fantasy COVID used car price stuff, right? Where you pay more for a used car than a new. And the price of these electric vehicles is starting to drop like a stone used because people are realizing, why are they getting rid of them? Well, they're crappy. I don't want to buy one of those then. If I do, I'm not going to pay much for it. Watch out, people with electric pickup truck, because it may be gloom and doom for you guys who buy one in the long run. Jay Bauer says, will AT205 prevent carb aging on my lawn equipment? Can I add it to the gas to keep rubber parts on my lawnmower carb from aging over winter? Well, no, you can't. It's not made for that. It is a liquid polymer that rejuvenates rubber seals. You can put it in engine oil. You can put it in gearbox oil. You can put it in most transmission fluids because those are all petroleum-based oils. You can't put it in gasoline. It doesn't work that way. Gasoline would destroy any properties that has gasoline. Is really caustic, right? You don't want your car to age over winter. You know, the simplest thing to do that is almost empty your gas tank of your lawnmower out, start it up, then just let it run until it stops running. Then there's no gas left in the carburetor. Then the next summer, you just pour gas and prime it. A lot of times it's hard to start the first time. If you got an empty carb, you pour gas and sometimes it's hard to start. So do what I do all the time. All I do in the summer is I put gas in a lawnmower. Right? I take the air filter off the carburetor. I get a can of spray fluid. I just go, and then when I crank it, it starts right up and runs. Because once you prime one of those stinky little lawnmower carburetors, then it automatically fires, and then the engine's running, it sucks the fuel through, and it'll run perfectly fine. Because, you know, the carburetors are simple on those lawnmowers. Run them till they die in the spring, fill them up with gas, put a little spray fluid. After you take the air filter out, it'll start right up. I do that. I've been doing that for years. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.